What's up, guys? Bubba Skirk here at ThinkComputers, and today we're taking a look at a rather massive and big CPU cooler. This is the Deepcool Gamerstorm Assassin 2. Of course, it is the successor to the Assassin, the original Assassin, or Assassin 1. So let's go ahead and take a look. The Assassin comes in a very kind of unique and weird, not weird, but a different retail box because there's really no picture of the cooler on this box. Of course, this is part of the Gamerstorm line, which is Deepcool's kind of high-end line. So on the front, we kind of have the Gamerstorm logo, and I guess it just says Assassin 2 CPU cooler. No, like again, no picture or anything like that. On the side, it lists some of the features, and on the back, we have our specifications, but that's it. So if you see this box in the store or something like that, you really won't know what it is until you actually really read the box and all of that. But let's go inside and kind of see what we have here. And opening it up, looks like we have a box, so we'll get that out. And then everything is kind of nicely packed inside of there. So we'll try to get this all out. It looks like the CPU cooler comes all together. The fans aren't separated, which is kind of different. One thing that I don't like about this, which I can tell you right off the bat, I don't know if it's just my sample or that all of them come like this. I really hope they don't. Is there's no covering and there is no protection on the base of the cooler, which is kind of weird, to be honest. It looks like we have some scratches and all that on the base. You never want to see that. Again, I don't know if this was just my sample or if it was, or if all the samples come like this. I'm not exactly sure. And I don't think there's any, oh, this box has everything else. I thought that was it, but yeah, that's kind of weird to see. Usually with CPU coolers, of course we review a lot of them, is that the base of the cooler is always protected with like a piece of, either like a plastic piece that goes over the entire bottom, or just a thin piece of plastic or something that's protecting it, because if you get scratches or anything like that, that's obviously going to affect the contact with your CPU. And it looks like this thing will definitely need cleaned. And it looks like we definitely have some blemishes and things like that that will need to be cleaned off, of course, before we go ahead and, you know, install this, which just makes it an extra step for the user. But let me go into accessories first before we take a look at the cooler and see what all we do have in here. So let's try to get it all out for you guys. So we have a few things. Of course, we have all of our mounting hardware, and this supports all of the latest sockets. So everything from AMD and Intel, and of course, this does support Intel's brand new LGA 2011 V3. This being a massive cooler, this is the type of CPU that you're going to want to use. You know, CPU that you might want to use with this cooler. So we have all of our mounting hardware, all of that. We do have our user's manual, which I will open up and see. And everything is in great detail and labeled, and of course, most importantly, in English. So this is going to easily show you how to get the cooler installed. One thing with CPU coolers, it's always important, is that they do have good instructions, because all of the mounting systems for each different company is different. And of course, there's no universal way to install coolers, unfortunately, because all the mounting systems are different. So having detailed instructions is very important with CPU coolers. So you do have that with this cooler. And then we have this other bag of accessories. And I wanted to show you one cool thing that is inside of here, if I can get it out, is that we do have a little fan hub here. So this looks to be a 4-port fan hub that you can actually use for pretty much any type of fan. So we have our 2 fans on here that you can connect to here, and then you actually have 2 more extra ports. So you can actually theoretically connect all of your fans to a single you know, to this, and then control it through the one connection here. It's actually quite cool that they do include this with the cooler. Little, you know, extra add-on for the cooler, which I do like. And then we have a little, what is this? We have, looks like vibration dampening strip possibly, or this is the strip to connect this, I'm sorry. This is the strip to connect this, and then we have our just a single cable tie here, and then we have our thermal paste here. This comes in a syringe, which I like to see. I don't like to see it in the little baggie that we see sometimes. And then finally, we have a pretty cool looking GamerStorm case badge. When you can throw this on your case or keyboard, whatever have you, you can kind of throw it on there. But let's get to the most important part, which of course is the cooler itself. And as you can see, if I set it here, try to set it here, this is a pretty massive CPU cooler. It's one of the bigger ones that we have seen. The original Assassin was quite massive, and this is extremely big as well. This is a dual tower cooler. So if you're looking at it, you can guess we have two heatsink towers here, which makes it a dual tower cooler. And they're pretty much the exact same design from what I'm seeing. On the top here, you can see we do have the GamerStorm logo on each one of the towers, and then we actually have a total of 8 pretty big heat pipes that go up through each tower. So that's going to dissipate quite a lot of heat. We have dual 140 millimeter fans. They're a little bit different design. The middle one looks like it is a little bit larger. As far as the middle one has the more round design, as this one is the more square. The front one is a little bit smaller, so you can fit your memory, and of course the middle one is a little bit bigger, but they do have a really cool design. Of course, red is the kind of Deepcool logo, or the Deepcool kind of color design that they're going for. So if you have a black and red motherboard, this is going to match quite well. Taking a look at the heatsink itself, you can kind of see how it is designed. Aluminum heatsink, and then you have nickel plated copper heat pipes, as well as our nickel plated copper base. And again, you can kind of see some of the blemishes on the actual base. We'll go ahead and clean that up before we do our full install. And you can see the 8 heat pipes. That is a lot. That is, typically we see anywhere between 3 and 6 heat pipes, but 8 heat pipes is quite a lot for a cooler. Now, if you're new to our channel, or you're new to computers or CPU cooling or air cooling, I'll kind of tell you how this works. So this is obviously going to sit in here like this in your system, and your CPU of course is going to be down here where it sits on. Your CPU is going to of course generate heat, and that heat is going to be transferred into the base of the cooler where the heat pipes are, and the heat pipes will go ahead and take that heat and dissipate it up into our heat sink stacks, our 2 big towers here. And then of course our fans will exhaust that heat out of your system. That's basically how this works. This is should be, of course we haven't tested it, but this should be very, very high performance cooler, just based on the size, the amount of heat pipes, our dual fans as well. All of that together should be really, really good performance. And of course, we're going to test it on an Extreme Edition processor. So of course, we'll see how all of that goes. So make sure you check back very soon on ThinkComputers.org, as we'll have our full written review. And remember guys, if you do enjoy our videos, it'd be great if you could subscribe. Catch you guys later.